You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about, like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
Welcome to Ask Margaret from What Fresh Hell, laughing in the face of motherhood, answering your parenting dilemmas one question at a time. This week's question comes from Paige on our Facebook page. Guys, if you are for some reason not on our Facebook page, come find us at facebook.com/whatfreshhellcast. And from there, you can join our Facebook group where people are asking each other questions and getting helpful information. Paige says, I recently posted about how I've been really wanting my own space lately and feel bad about that. Basically, I'm touched out because I have 2 preschoolers and I'm nursing a baby. Anyway, I feel terribly bad because yesterday when I got everyone down for a nap, my husband, who was working full-time from home, asked if he could snuggle with me. I said sure, but then asked him to leave so that I could rest. He caught me red-handed scrolling my phone a couple of minutes later, and I had to admit I just didn't want to snuggle. I really hurt his feelings. What can I say? I just want my own space. Is there a nice way to handle it when you don't want to be touched? I am sometimes okay with it, but other times recoil from my beloved husband's snuggles. It sounds terrible. Anyone have any words of encouragement or advice? Feeling really guilty. Paige, I have words of encouragement and advice. I don't think you should feel super guilty about this, but I think it's time to have a conversation about it. I was looking some stuff up about this topic, and I found a parents.com article that said that the reason that some of us may feel slightly touched out could relate to a recent study that finds parents have only 32 minutes to themselves every day. And so it's no wonder that with 2 little kids and a nursing baby, you are touched out. There is someone physically crawling on you, spitting on you, biting you, pulling in your hair, getting their goop all over you, almost 24 hours a day, and it's exhausting. And so I think the key here is not feeling guilty, but the key is communication. So I think it's very sweet that your husband is looking for snuggles. And I think it is understandable that he feels rejected when you're not available for snuggles. But I really think that you need to have a conversation with him where you talk this out and you say, listen, I realize this is kind of a bummer, but at this stage, we have 3 little kids and I am a little touched out. So there are just going to be times where I'm like, I cannot take any physical contact whatsoever. I remember I had 3 kids in 4 years, and I remember sitting down and having this exact conversation with my husband where I was like, listen, I am maxed out with all physical contact. Please do not be insulted, but I am not looking for a lot of physical contact from you for the foreseeable future. Now, within that, we go back to one of our favorite rules on the podcast, which is operate from your point of maximum generosity. So, I mean, when I had little kids, listen, if my husband wanted to move into the barn and just like send paychecks in every couple of weeks, that would have been great for me, honestly. I mean, if you want to come in, help with the kids and then leave, like I didn't want to have conversations. I didn't want to have snuggling. I just wanted to be alone. But I realized that that's not really the contract I signed when we got married, which is just like, you need to leave me alone for several years, except for when you're helping with the kids, because I am maxed out. And so I operate from my maximum point of generosity. And you do say in your question that there are times where you're feeling okay with it. And so I would lean into those times. I would say, listen, I'm going to drive this for a little while because there are times where like, I love you so much. I'm attracted to you. I think you're awesome, but I'm not looking for snuggles some days. I'm just so physically overwhelmed. But then you want to find as many opportunities as possible where you're leading the snuggles. And so sometimes, when I was in this mode, I would just pass my husband and give him a hug, give him a kiss. I would sometimes sit down with him on the couch and snuggle in. And I'm not going to lie, we had a whole separate conversation where I'm very comfortable saying to my husband, This is just cuddling, by the way. Like, I'm not going any further exits than that at this time. So just accept these as the cuddles they are, not as an invitation anywhere else. And so I think that communication is so, so key here. You are well within your rights to feel this way. Your husband, I think, can be made to understand that this is not an insult to him or how you feel about him. This is about you being physically overwhelmed, and just talk it out and find some ways that work for you. My husband and I are very big on, we watch a show at the end of the day, and I don't even know if we had this conversation, but we are always in some physical contact while we watch that show. I have my hand on his shoulders, we're holding hands, whatever it might be. It's a nice time for us to have that physical connection without it being surprise snuggles, which sometimes, let's be honest, we're just not up for. So, Paige, I would say fundamentally operate from that maximum generosity. Try to find times to let your husband in, offer him some physical, interaction, but don't feel guilty about this and don't get yourself crazy about it. This is a phase. You're nursing a baby. You've got a lot going on with physical stuff for yourself. And I think if you just talk that out with your husband and you guys keep a sense of humor about it and, try to not make it so fraught and tense, make it funny, like, okay, I'm up for snuggles. I'll give you 5 minutes. Let's do this thing, and not worry about like, well, I'm gonna nap, but really I just don't want the snuggles. I would just bring it all out into the open. You can say, listen, Margaret from the What Fresh Hell podcast told me that for a couple years, this is going to be a snuggle-free zone to a certain degree. But listen, in a couple years, the snuggles are coming back, she told me. So I am going to state my snuggling boundaries, but I am going to give all the snuggles I can possibly spare directly to you and to no one else. And I think if you start having those conversations, the guilt comes off of it, the fear comes off of it, the neuroses comes off of it, and you guys are back laughing and on the same team and finding snuggles where you can get them. Paige, I hope that helps. If you have questions about snuggling or any other topic that you would like to hear addressed on the podcast, you can send me questions at whatfreshhellpodcast.com, or you can always post them on our Facebook group at whatfreshhellcast, and we will find them there. Guys, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.